I am so glad that you are painting for your health today. I'm Darlene, and we're going to create another painting together today. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you so you can see what we're doing. So we have some cardinals in the snow today. We're still in our winter months right now, and I wanted to do something that was appropriate for the time. But you might be painting this in the summertime or spring, and you might just enjoy the snow. So hopefully, whatever the case, you enjoy this painting today. Right, we're going to get our music started. And if you check the chat, you will see the supplies that you need. We are using acrylic paints, but you can choose to use watercolors if you would like, or any other medium. And the colors will be black, white, and red. Pretty simple. And as usual, the brushes that we'll be using are going to be a medium or large flat brush, depending on what you're using as far as your canvas or paper that you're painting on. And then you're going to have a liner, and you can use a small liner for details, and you can have a medium sized liner for other bigger details. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to create a light gray color. And you can use the flat brush that's your medium size or smaller size flat brush. Or you can use your medium size liner to mix this color. You don't want to use your small liner because you might ruin the brushes, the brush on it, the bristles. So mostly white with a tiny bit of black in there. And when you get that, we're going to line our paper almost to the bottom. I'm going to fill it in. Make sure to keep it light. You can use your larger flat brush here, depending on the size of your substrate that you're painting on. Now you're going to clean your brush. When you clean your brush, make sure you press your brush all the way to the bottom of your cup or container so that the bristles will open up and get all of your paint out. Dry it off really well. We are going to switch to our small liner or medium size, depending on your size of your paper or canvas. So it could be either one of these types of brushes. Gray that you have, we're going to add a tiny bit more black to it to make it slightly darker. This one is okay to mix with your smaller liner because it's a very small amount of paint. And we're going to add some trees here. So we're just drawing bigger lines here in the front. Remember that with trees, the limbs are smaller as they are further away from the tree. I'm going to draw a slightly smaller one here where we can see the top of it. I'm going to switch my liner to a smaller liner so I can get even more detailed. So we have our two larger trees. I'm going to make this gray slightly lighter by adding some of the background color to that gray, or just adding a little more white. Getting closer to the background color. We're going to add a bunch of trees in the background. Which are just lines. Now we'll add the limbs to those trees. We'll bring some up a little taller. And if you want to, you can get even lighter. Just add a few lines in the background. See if they show up. Right? Clean that brush off. Dry it. And now we're going to create a darker gray. So I'm going to add a little more black to the mixture that I already have for my trees. I'm going to make sure I create enough of this color to cover a large area, because we're going to be coloring in the fence and some bigger trees. So make sure you have enough paint. Stir until there are no stripes or lines. Make it solid. I'm using my medium size or smaller flat brush. Create a fence right underneath the halfway mark. So you're going to take your your flat brush, and create a line, press it down, and then a V shape. And another line about the same distance. And a V shape. You'll do this all the way across. Now you're going to paint this in.
You kind of want to move a little quickly here because we are going to create a wood texture. And we're going to do a little blending. This gray needs to be wet. So now, without cleaning our brush, we're going to dab a little black onto the brush and turning it at a vertical. Instead of like this, we'll turn it vertically. We're going to create some lines. Definitely a line here between each one. We're going to also create some small lines that are staggered. Here. Then I'm going to wipe the brush off. Don't put any water on it. We're going to smear the black we have. I'm going to add a little more of the gray color from the fence color on there. And this will take a moment to do. You don't want to paint it away. You just want to smear it. And if it goes away like mine did here, add it back. Little black back there. Wipe off your brush. Add the gray fence color. And just smear that black down. As long as you're going up and down or just downward motion. Now you're going to add a tiny bit of white or light gray. Same way that you did the black, but we're not going to paint over the black. We're going to go in between those black stripes. If you have too much paint on your brush, wipe off your brush. If you don't, and you've run out, that's perfect. You're going to smear the white. All right, now when you get it the way you like it, wipe it off, dry it. We're going to switch brushes to our medium-sized liner because we're going to create the larger branches using the same fence color. So our first branch will be lower right here, almost to the center of your canvas or paper. With a light touch, you'll start, and then you'll press it fully down toward the end. And you can add little branches. For the top branch, we'll start close to the top of our paper or canvas. Make it interesting. And this is skinny. This is going to get bigger here, so I'm going to start here. Create a branch off here. And this looks a little bare, so maybe I can do that. Now wipe off your brush. Don't add any water. I'm going to get a light color onto your brush. On the very top, you're going to trace it. If you need to use your smaller liner, you can do that. I'm going to clean my brush off in the water. And use a smaller liner. going to come back with some of the gray and blend it because the gray was dry. Cleaning my brush off. And wipe it dry. You can use your medium-sized liner here, and what we're going to do is add on the snow on top of the fence. We're going to add this first so it has enough time to dry. Just get the white and pile it on. You want it to be in dabs or daubs and have it to hang over the fence here. Your black is not dry or your gray, you can wait a little while, or you can just wipe your brush off and come back with a lighter touch with your white. Smoothing it out just a little bit, but using that same motion to create the piling effect. Add some here. Maybe it's piled up really high here and then low. Maybe a bunch of it piled up in this area right here. And right in this little pocket here. This one. All right, cleaning off our brush. You can use the red for the cardinal as is, or add a very tiny bit of white to the red if it needs to be more opaque. going to create kind of like a backwards C here. And then sweep it down like this. Cursive S if anybody takes cursive or had cursive. A small C. And a triangle on the end like a cone shape. Fill it in. Another triangle on top. The wing here. We're going to fill this out a little more. And then we're going to do one right here. Hopefully this is kind of dry. This time we're going to do the letter C here. Swoop it back for the tail. Fill it in. Backwards C. This time we'll just make a circle. Triangle on the end. Triangle on the top. This one, the wing doesn't show, so we're going to clean the brush off. Switching to your smaller liner. And black. Beat. Right, and the last thing you want to add is the snow that's falling from the sky. You can use your small or medium liner, just depending on the size of your snowflakes. And you can randomly place them throughout. I put a lot of paint on my brush like this and dab. Make sure that you add them on the limbs so it looks like the limbs are behind the snow. And when your cardinal is dry, you can even add one on the cardinal or two. And try to stagger them so it doesn't look too contrived. Okay. And the brush.
I hope you enjoyed painting for your health today. And I hope that your day is peaceful. And remember, don't worry about whatever it is, it'll work itself out. Just breathe, just be at peace, and have a great day.